Welcome to the stream, people. I mean, the city has been rather ruined in the time since. So where last we'd left off, Queen Galfrey had just left you in the midst of your new army, about to go and greet your specialists who have been, well, they volunteered to come with you. The whole army volunteered, but these are the people you're going to be relying on for actually working the army and accomplishing your task. I assume someone is going to go into the command tent to say hello. Yes, the medals you only just received. Yes, well, inside the command tent, there's not much of anything. This hasn't been set up as somewhere to actually command from currently because you're outside of a friendly city. There's not much point to it. But there are three people just sort of standing around waiting for you. Okay, ask me once we're through with this. The first you see is, well, he's human, which puts him about average for around here. He looks tired and beleaguered with short brown hair, carrying a shield and sword. Frankly, he looks the epitome of any paladin you'd find in a run-down town, but it's not normal for the Crusade. His armor is worn and battered. His shield is plain wood, no steel involved. He wears a cloak, but it's covered with mud and generally just in poor repair. Frankly, he looks like he needs a good month's rest and hasn't gotten that in a year. He's speaking with a very tall and conversely well-armored man with dark skin, short hair, cropped as close to the head as he can get, basically. He wears the armor of Shellen, not Iomade. But he wields a spear, a crossbow with bolts for it, and a morning star at his hip. And the red cloak that covers his back is well maintained. And lastly is a halfling woman, dressed in green leathers, wielding a short sword and a horn. She carries a large pack and seems well suited for scouting and other such things. She's also seemingly telling a joke to the other two. Well, they all turn to look at you as you enter, of course. Eyes stop on Lortan and then Tazrak, being the two strangest looking members of the party. Yes, what? Aren't you good? Are undead just naturally evil? Yeah, okay, yep, sure. Yep, fair enough. Yeah. I assume the others are going to introduce themselves. And Lorton. Af- yes. After that moment, the supporter of Shellen steps forward first. I am Sociovanic, here to assist in clerical duties for leading this army. Beside him, next up, is the halfling, who steps forward with a bounce in her step and a smile on her face. Nura Dendewar, a chronicler and historian. I have knowledge of the area and of the demons themselves. And lastly, steps forward the haggard man. Aaron Kier. I have direct experience with Dresden. I will write them down for you. Flower is not a perfect being. Yes. He's not physically hurt, but his gear is not well maintained. He looks very tired, and he's just kind of worn down. Not many breaks to be had. Aaron is cleaned up, and he just sort of blinks and looks down on himself in surprise. Uh, thanks? Socio shakes his head and steps up, putting an arm around Aaron's shoulders. They seem very close. He needs a bath, so I'm sure that will not go unwelcome. Oh, no, please. Nora skips out of the tent past you, waving her hellos and goodbyes, but she has nothing to offer at the moment and is going to go try and cheer up some of the troops. Yes, my lord. From a long march to help Canabras. Before then, minor conflicts, but nothing of late for the past few months. Quite the opposite, I would think. If, if you are to walk amongst the men, we will take it upon ourselves to ensure the supplies are finished in preparation. We've received some donations from a man in the city. Yes. Almost as if on cue from Ermengarde's words, Nora pops back into the tent for a moment. There's some people outside to see you. The first thing you see on coming outside is that, well, our Vashnil has blue eyes. And standing alongside our Vashnil is essentially everyone. Irabeth and Anivia are there, leaning on each other. Horgus is there, surprisingly enough. He kind of grumps and waves. Our Vashnil steps forward, of course. when we heard you were to be leading this army away to retake Dresden, well, Canopus would not have been saved without you, after all. And we did have an audience with the Queen herself on the way here, and we had to correct her, of a fact. If there is room, we would actually very much prefer to directly assist you. Aravashniel, for the first time you've known him, grins. I would very much like to repay the demons for the damage they did to my eyes. Horgus grumps. You'll need my connections to get food for this army on the way. Irabeth steps forward next. As you know, I have experience in commanding groups like this, if you have need of it. And my wife, of course, will scout for the army. She's quite adept at it. Aravashnia will nod at that and go into the tent to talk to Socio. But Irabeth and Anivia will actually drag Horgus away, apparently intent on having a word with him. Oh my god. Question. Who's keeping track of the army stats? Okay, Tayo. Anivia is with you now. She is going to scout ahead before any battle begins, thus you will always have battlefield advantage. Therefore, the army's OM and DC is increased by 2. Aravashniel is quite skilled in magic in general, and thus how to deal with enemy spellcasters. The army now has Spellbreaker as a bonus tactic. Horgus, because of his connections and resources, reduces the army's consumption score by 2. And lastly, you can have Irabeth command the army. If you do, she grants the Bloodied but Unbroken boon to it. Yes, well, to mention this because you brought it up, if one of you serves as the commander of the Knights of Canabras, you can use your Surge Mythic abilities to adjust checks for the army. You're very close. Horgus is Horgus. With that, I assume you're going to spread out, talk to the soldiers and such, and be prepared to leave on the morrow. Currently, it's just burials as necessary. They're all paladins. They all have their oaths already made. Maybe. Well, there has been battles around here before Canabras fell for a while. You're not going to run into any obvious battle sites for the first few days of traveling. Yes. I will let you know before you reach them. There are supplies enough for everyone to be marching or on horseback as necessary. You are allowed. Yes, everyone has horses that needs them. Most of the paladins are going to be marching because horses make a lot more noise in transporting an army. Well, you're trying not to be noticed by the giant demon armies that might be nearby. There are horses available, for example, for you to march around while commanding, so you actually can talk to everyone. So, for the record, going amongst the paladins themselves finds a lot of similar stories from most of them. If you were to speak to them, demons killed my parents, demons killed my family, demons killed my village. Uh, Demons are killing everyone. I want to kill the demon. Demons are evil, but by nature, I want to kill the demon. There's lots of demon killing going on. You can get along with them pretty easily. They've all volunteered to help you. I mean, basically everyone in this army looks up to every one of you as a hero right now. You are one of those to save the city. Ugh. This first night, you're going to have trouble finding her, is the issue. Yes. So, for the record, your supplying is going underway. At the end of it, the army is going to be carrying 50 units of food and water. Yes, because your current consumption is 3 units of food and water a day, thanks to Horgus. Yeah, don't put it in there. The command. So, what is Luthwen's charisma mod? Okay. What is her ranks in profession soldier? Yep. Yeah, it does. It'll do 1. Yep. Yes. Boons, she is going to have 1 for having 5 ranks of profession soldier. Oh, no, wait, you're right. She's a new commander, she's not going to have any right now. Okay, then. So with that, at the end of the day, you are going to discuss what your route is to Dresden. Yes. Yes, you are. That's at least the current plan. You're going to travel north directly to the small town of Valis' Gift, and then follow the east bank of the Selin River north until you come to the Villareth Ford, at which point you cross it and continue north to Dresden, because this provides a natural trail to follow. But at the same time, there's not many other places you could cross the river. It is a 160-mile journey. With your mounted paladins and your marching paladins, you can cover 36 miles a day. Assuming no complications, this means you can reach Dresden in 4.5 days. Of course, there's going to be complications. Yes. Yes? What is the end universe state at this point? Sure. Hold on. Sure. Let me find this here. Should be around here somewhere. Yes, I haven't adjusted that at all. I just left it alone and didn't want to mess with it for now. She is a paladin, which means she will likely be wielding Radiance because it does things for paladins. Irabeth. Yeah, you're the only mythic, but she is a paladin 5. 2. Nope. She's not a soldier, she's a paladin. It's a slightly different thing. Yeah, she was a wandering, do good for the people paladin, not an army paladin. Let's just say... So I basically don't have a definitive date on this, so we're gonna say that it is... We're gonna say it's March 20th. In the year of 4713. Yes. And with that, is there anything else people are going to do in the night before you set off? I mean, you're near the city, so sure. Um, sorry, give me 1 second for a technical issue here. Testing. Testing. Yeah, that's what I thought. The recording's gonna be borked. No, it's not picking up any of you. It picks up me, but none of you. It's capturing the desktop audio of the music. That's what happened. Someone speak for me.
Barf.
Now you're being recorded.
Barf.
Barf. There's no people here, only dogs.
Barf.
Yodel, yodel, yodel.
Meh. Life.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Life is life. Continue.
Yes, so was anyone else needing to do anything particularly important before you set off? In the morning.
Not at this stage for me, just meditating. Possibly the
Ditto.
flower.
I take bath. It is good bath. I
Okay.
smell good.
Okay, great.
Morning
Morning comes then.
Find a bath either.
You're a cat, no one likes you.
Eh,
Cat? Do cats want baths?
Generally not. Some of them do.
Some
Use your
do.
tongue.
the bigger cats actually pretty enjoy water, but the smaller ones do not.
I don't know. My old cat would stick her head under the faucet.
They
Oh
like
yeah,
doing
cats
that.
love that. Yeah.
But they don't
It's
like-
a learned behavior.
Eh. The larger cats, like I said, tigers and whatever, they actually do enjoy. So I don't know. Honor is a medium cat. You figure it out.
Well then, morning comes.
Dude. Morning, put that away.
Stop yelling at the sun. The sun does what it wants. Oh, interesting.
Your current prescribed path is to simply march directly north to Vollus's gift. This is not a cliff, for the record.
It's just
It's
shitty terrain.
What is that, pray tell?
Forest.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, we're not going in there.
It is... Okay, when I say forest, you're going to be cutting through a place that only barely counts. It's not wooded. It just happens to have trees.
You mean it happens to negate our cavalry entirely?
No.
No.
Not even
Not
that
even
much.
that much.
Then it's not a forest.
It's more what he's basically saying. That is the line between shitty desert and less shitty. I don't know. What would you call this? Scrubland?
Pretty much, yeah.
Scrubland is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
scrubland.
that's
Basically,
that's
which means
fine.
there's a tree now and then, and there's grass and shit. Versus welcome to hell.
Yeah, okay, that's the difference. Because forest is like, there's
No, no,
dense
no.
enough trees you don't want to bring cavalry or really an army into that.
Unless your army is full of Robin Hoods
Okay, fair. These are paladins.
or
They're gonna
elves.
crush
Just
everything.
elves. If they were just elves, it'd be fine.
But yeah, the elves just like meld into the trees somehow.
They are the trees. But yes, going through this scrubland versus the hostile, barren desert fuck is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it is.
Setting
Shortest
off
path.
at
I sit very awkwardly and very carefully on a horse. I don't like it. Or a pony.
You have to do the old like cartoon thing of like the dotted line that takes like a big circles and just.
Yeah, just. Yeah. Just every direction except forward.
Somehow we're like at the northern end of this map.
I'm like looking at the map, like, how did we end up like?
Oh, it's been upside
Here.
down. Oops.
Oopsie. Hold on.
Off you set. And as a sense of scale, the time it will take you to reach Volus's gift is about a day's worth of travel.
Alright.
So with that, you set off.
Clippity cloppity cloppity clip. Do I have a
Exactly.
pony or an actual horse? Because that matters to me.
You have a pony.
God. Jesus Christ. The horse is like
You
a
are the
mile up
pony.
from the pony, thank God.
Yes, if they put you on an actual horse, they just lose the horse within a few hours.
He just find me, still clinging to it 3 days later. It's done whatever it wants.
The question is anyone going to be doing something in particular while traveling? Or is it just going to be the mind-numbing march?
I mean, I have herbalism, so I might as well look for anything that might possibly be useful, but I doubt it because it's all blasted wasteland.
Yeah, you mostly find shrubs. Which,
Welcome to Shrubland.
I mean, you can burn them.
You
If we
don't
need
no big
kindling.
fires, please.
I'll do something that's a horrible idea.
Hmm?
I really shouldn't though, because I
What the
have
fuck are you
a
doing?
0 in perform. So this is gonna be a bad idea.
You gonna try starting a song?
I mean, it's better than marching completely in silence.
There are some
I-
pockets of the paladins who are humming their oaths as they march.
Lortan will if he hears.
No one likes it.
Hold on, I got a thought. Hang on.
What's Lorton doing?
Lortan, as a means of keeping himself distracted from the more mind-numbing aspects of a march, and while trying to get used to the idea of horseback, something he has little to no training in, he'll simply gently orbit his way through the formation and, be looking for kindred souls who are not paladins of Iomade.
That's a tall order.
He knows there is at least one, but, just to keep a heads up on whether or not there are any.
I mean, you're traveling with them.
While he's doing that, first off, do I know any like crusade-based songs? I guess using knowledge religion.
Not unless they're funeral dirges.
Okay, that's probably not something you want to.
Not yet.
Just sing everyone to their death on the way there.
I am 210, thank you very much. But yes, he is shorter than your tiny 2-year-old daughter. He is just the puniest thing. You could wear him as a hat. A very aggressive hat.
Lortan, you will quickly find the only people here who are not paladins of Iomade are your group, Anivia, Horgus, Arvashnil, Sociel, and Nura. The rest of your 200 men strong army are paladins of Iomade.
Are there no women?
Oh my god.
I have to ask. You've only used man.
There are women.
Actually, what's funny is there's probably more women paladins like as soldiers in this, and they're all just normal soldiers in like a normal army that are women. Because paladin is just like whoever, like anybody can be a goddamn paladin.
It's true. You're traveling with a half-orc.
Something occurs to me. I'll bring it up again when you say we've made camp for the night.
I can say that whenever.
I think
It's not true. But
Actually, there is one thing I'm going to do that actually takes up time. I'm going to use my heal ability to try and I'm not actively like healing people. I'm more encouraging good behavior with the whole march thing. You know,
Nobody marching
drinking
past
lots of
their
water,
limits.
stop to rest, that kind of nonsense.
Hey, just a question. How fast? Excuse me. How fast is a horse?
Depends on the horse.
You need a scale there. How fast for, like, what? Sprinting, marching?
Just general speed.
stamina is most of the issue here, Odin. If you're thinking of just, I know you can probably just walk faster than they trot.
No, I walk as fast as they do. I just wanted to know. Their speed is 50
Well,
feet.
Yeah,
Minus 50
50
feet.
feet is a light horse, and 40 feet is the heavier horses, so you're
No,
as fast
it's
as a
both
light
50.
horse.
Both 50, and assuming no armor.
Yeah, assuming no armor or anything like that. Horses have the run feet by default, so they're pretty fucking fast in the straight line. And they have a fairly high fucking constitution score. I forget how high is yours?
21.
Let me forestall some of that for you, though.
Yeah.
If you want the horse to make it to the end of the day healthy, it's no faster than a human, and that's about 30 miles per 10-hour traveling day.
Yeah.
Which is why it comes out to 36 hours.
Horses are all
36
about
miles.
stamina.
Mhm.
And of course, the usefulness on charging.
And they can carry a lot more without being quite as tuckered as a human would be.
But the human is still in better fighting shape than they would be walking this distance.
This is true. Humans are really good at walking. Really, really good at walking. We're getting distracted, though. Is there some reason you want to know this knowledge, or is it just for funsies?
I just wanted to know, in case I needed to hop off and do something, I could still keep up with the group. At
Yes,
least in the short term.
If necessary, if we did a cavalry charge, you could run alongside screaming. And it'd probably scare some people. Because, wow, that's fast. They would outpace you in a straight run, because you don't have the run feet, I don't think.
It's been a boring day of marching so far, and the sun eventually is setting. But as it begins to set, Anivia comes back to the front of the army, where I imagine most of you are at this point.
Yep, I'm also listening to Luthwin's song, trying to determine if she wants to be heard or not.
She looks grim.
Grimmer than normal.
That's assumed.
Yes.
So we all look pretty grim. Alright, okay, what's up?
The Volus's gift is not as it should be.
Would you care to narrow that down to precisely what is wrong?
It is meant to be one of Canopus's primary sources of food, but the fields are barren.
Barren or burned?
I can't tell without approaching closer.
Ah, well then. Keep
That
the
might just be
army moving. I believe we shall go on ahead to investigate.
You're going to try and go ahead of the army?
Yeah, that would be wisest. Well, we're much less likely to be noticed on approach, and the army will be instantly noticed. So if there's an ambush, it's less likely to go off on us than it would be on the army.
However, if it goes off on us and they're expecting an army and find us, we have no chance.
I'd say we have a better chance than you think we do, but yes, it is a problem. Though, conversely, if there's enough of an ambush to ambush an army and theoretically succeed, I think we'll see it. Do you have a better thought than us exploring it ourselves, then?
I suggest we consult an expert.
We have one of those?
Turning deliberately to Luthwin.
The problem is, out of character, I am not an expert.
Well,
You've
I don't
got
think any
6
of us
ranks
are.
in soldier. Start with those.
You can always roll that.
Great,
yeah.
yes, I guess can I roll for them, Ian?
Roll right ahead.
What?
Yes.
Hooray!
I was trying to say right ahead and go up and like... Yeah.
You
Your
lost it
brain
halfway
wanted to
through.
say like 3 different phrases, and they all came out at once.
How's that?
She just rolled a 19 for the record, which adds up to a total of 30.
Yay.
Anyone trying to ambush an army but that purposefully leaves fields barren or burned ahead of them is not setting a good ambush. Just bring the army.
Yeah.
They would have kept the area for themselves if they had expected us. Lure us in. We move onward.
You think perhaps they simply hit this to deny us supplies?
Very likely.
Hmm. So it's
Assuming they
distracting.
even did it on purpose.
True. Demons are random at times. Randomly destructive.
Regardless, they wouldn't be lying in wait then.
Hmm.
At least
What are the
no
chances
way.
of them returning, though? Like, we go there to rest or what have you, and then return?
Then we would want our army.
No, I mean, let's just keep a watch at night. Let's put it that way.
Of course. We
Yeah,
have
a
an
little more
army.
An attentive watch, I don't know.
I know, but we keep a watch. We have an army.
I don't know. They're paladins. For all I know, they spend their evenings in prayer. And only prayer.
Then they can pray while on watch.
Fair. Alright, I guess we're just going.
Is there nothing for us to salvage from this area? Sorry.
As you'll
We
see,
haven't yet reached it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to check.
Oh,
on.
okay.
as the sun sets, you approach Valus's gift. But it does not take you very long to realize what was once a small and fertile town has been left a smoking ruin.
Mm-mm.
Houses burned, crops burned, people burned.
Land burned. Chickens burned. Just everything fire.
Pretty
Actually, it's a good
much.
question. Was it very clearly done primarily through fire, or was swords or claws
Hey,
involved?
Ian? Fire, burning, fire.
Yes, stop it. It seems to be done primarily through fire, mostly because the village is actually still smoking.
This was recent.
Relatively recent, yes.
That's
Wolfen
worrisome.
wants to send orders out to check for any survivors.
And if we have any spare scouts, send them around the area. There's a good chance they're still close by.
We only
Or at
have
least-
one particularly good tracker.
Well, no, we don't need like the best tracker ever. So actually,
No.
if she's not looking for survivors.
Just a couple outriders.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need like the best scouts ever to find a
Fair enough.
village burning greater group.
However, I will put Anivia on actually trying to track and find out where these people might have gone to.
Of course.
Of course. Especially before we go in and trample everything and make it impossible.
Yes.
It'll take time for your soldiers to actually search the ruins. Are you going to assist with that directly?
Yes.
I have one way to assist. They won't approve.
I prefer to keep you in one piece.
Mm. It would make it more efficient, but at the same time,
What do you need to do?
well, these people who have lost their lives to raiders might appreciate having a chance to save those that still live.
I think raising a huge amount of undead in the middle of this army is a disastrous idea.
I never said to do it in the middle of the army.
They're going to be searching.
Uh,
That's not a good idea.
well, if they need help, I suppose. Yes, I'll leave it for now.
If you can
Help.
confer with the victims, that would be one thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and help with the burial.
What level is Speak with Dead?
What was that, sorry?
What level is Speak with Dead?
2, I think.
3.
Yeah, 3. I could prepare it later. Not today. I have something else prepared today, but I could definitely prepare it later.
It's just for reference.
Hopefully we won't need that.
But the sun is getting low. So,
They will search it mundanely as best they can.
are you going to have them search it into the night with people taking shifts and resting, or are you going to camp and search it in the morning.
I think we should be ready to move by morning, so we'll rest in shifts and continue searching.
Also, if we're looking for people,
Actually, I have
we
a
need to
better
go
solution
sooner
to
than
this.
later to help them.
Hold on. Have the army rest through the night. There's no way. I think we have 100 of them, yeah? Right, these
200.
paladins? All right. 200 men is excessive for one village. Not all of them need to be searching the whole damn village. Have the men rest and camp, and in the night when they're asleep, I'll handle it.
How big is this, Ian, for our reference?
Yeah, how big is this village?
You're assuming something Skullhat, but we don't know for certain yet.
I assume village, so...
About a quarter the
like,
size of Canabras.
Wait, what?
That's still rather large.
How big is it?
A quarter the size of Canabras?
And is it as densely packed as Canopus would be here? Or is it
No.
spread out farms?
No.
Yeah,
It's
see, that's
more
what I'm
spread
relying
out.
on. Yeah, spread out farms. That means I only have to search the buildings. I don't like have to search every square inch of territory. So it's an easier job than you think it would be, considering skeletons
Yes,
require no rest.
but we
and
should
any of that.
still do it tonight.
Oh no, I will do it tonight. I just have the soldiers rest and be ready tomorrow. I'll handle saving the lives. Well, I would want some help probably from you lot, but that's your prerogative. I just see a way to keep our soldiers.
What he's saying is he'll put together a search detail.
Thank you.
How much resources is this going to cost you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Very well. Put the men on rest and guard.
Yeah, at least
Make
I've
sure we're not snuck up on at night.
All right. Yes, have them camp a little bit out of the village and don't question what goes on in the village for a bit.
Tazrak, you're aware you're going to be very tired tomorrow.
I'm well aware. I would rather be tired than the army be even a little tired.
Okay.
Though admittedly, I could probably take a nap while they're doing the job because it's pretty simple. Regardless, yeah, I'm set.
Roll me a 2d4.
Okay. Yeah, shut it back down. I hate the positioning of this keyboard.
That's how many Baylor Lords you find?
I find 4 Baylor Lords. A very average roll.
Unfortunately, for all the time you put in searching, you find no survivors, or even evidence of survivors. You do find quite a bit of food left over, though. In fact, you find 4 units of food and water for the army to take.
That's good. Surprised I found. I guess they didn't do a very thorough job of destroying this place.
They were after the people, not the supplies.
Fair enough. And they very clearly got them. Well, once I've collected all I can and searched each home as best as able, I will have all the skeletal humans and such all line up in a conga line after gathering every body and lay them to rest. Well, lay one another to rest, I should say. Like, you're dismissed, they lay to rest, you're dismissed, they lay, so on.
Sure.
Until Flowerberry's the last one.
I think you go collapse into a bunk for about half an hour before you have to wake up again.
I can sleep in the saddle or something. I'll be fine. I'd rather be exhausted than the army, Tazrak does consider his newfound ability, though. He knew one day he'd be able to create more like Flower, but this is a lot for someone newly discovering themselves, their abilities.
That mythic boost does a lot.
This is like a lot of skillies. Still, he
You
releases
received
them
the
all.
report in the morning that there were no survivors to be found, unfortunately.
I could not find, neither me nor the scouting group could find a single living human, or any other creature, really.
Luckily, your scouts also report that there doesn't seem to be any armies lying in wait around you either.
Any sign of what direction they might have gone were they landborn?
Possibly north, but it's also hard to tell. This is just a well-traveled route in general.
think the
So,
issue is that these
no
are
way to-
demons, and they
no
can
way to
teleport
tell.
and fly.
No visible way to tell was it another army or is this just normal trade traffic on the road type thing?
Yes.
This is unlikely to have been, say, bandits or raiders of the normal variety, simply by virtue of lack of evidence, and the fact they left supplies. Raiders and such wouldn't do that. Demons would. Demons don't care.
We have no option but to continue on.
Got what supplies we have. I'm gonna lay in the saddle. You gotta have fun. Flower, drive it for me.
Onwards you go. It wasn't quite the respite you were looking for at Valis' gift, unfortunately. But your next stop is the ford itself, after quite a march along the river.
Looks like another 2 days on.
Round about 1.5.
Well, Tatrick is too tired to do much besides nap, so
You'll have plenty of time to catch up on your rest.
that's good.
Is anyone going to take purposeful note of speaking to anyone in the army?
Yes, actually. Having with Nora Dendohar having specifically called themselves out as a historian, Lortan would like to spend at least some time talking to them, a fellow scholar of history.
I'm
Fair
also
enough.
gonna. Go ahead.
Rare enough to find someone who's as interested in the past as with devotions to the present in his circles.
Nura is quite an excitable person, as it turns out. She's very quick to try and make jokes and lighten the mood, but she does also seem to be, well, quite the historian on the First Mendevian Crusade is her primary focus. Because of that, her knowledge, it does apply to current situations, but only through attempting to draw connections, nothing directly relevant.
I want to talk to Mr. Sad Paladin Man.
Mr. Sad Paladin Man.
Aaron.
Just don't call him Mr. Sad Paladin Man.
Hi,
Not to
Mr.
his
Sad
face.
Paladin Man.
So now they're gonna do it.
You could talk to Aaron. What do you want to talk to Aaron about?
I just want to check in with him how he's doing after the first day.
He still looks tired. He's in the saddle and he looks like he's ready. He's not actually tired. He just looks it a lot.
I'll just chat with him about like his history and stuff.
The,
'Cause I
fir-
haven't. Go ahead.
the first thing you can learn about Aaron is well, he's put up a lot of traps along the World Wound border. He was picked up as a trainee by dwarven engineers to help defend the World Wound's border.
That's actually very good. That's the kind of experience that we want.
Yes, he's actually directly been to Dresden. And he's heard stories from the dwarves who trained him on the actual construction of Citadel Dresden.
I would like to talk to him more at length. Like, for instance, is he familiar with the path that we're walking?
This one specifically, no, because he's not been to Canabras before, well, now.
I see. Then I'll just ask about the city in general. Like any landmarks around the city that we might need to watch out for. And since he's experienced in trapping, if there's any ambush locations that we can expect as we approach.
The only ambush location worth a damn is going to be the fort itself.
So I was right.
No
we'll
one
have
else.
to keep an eye out for it. We're still a couple days out from it, yes?
About a full day's worth of travel now.
Okay. I will make sure to pass that news on to Anivia, our ranger, and have her report back on it.
I'm not a ranger anymore.
But you're not. You're riding with the army. She's ranging a field, isn't she?
Yes, Anivia is keeping Scout ahead of the army and occasionally reporting back.
So I will keep an eye out for her. And in fact, I will pass around that news so that other people can tell me. 'Cause, I can only look in so many directions.
Lufwin does have something she'd like to do. At least someone she'd like to talk to. For when Odin's done.
Is Odin done?
Yeah, just continue chatting and stuff.
She'd like to talk to Irabeth about tactical, well, ideas. She hasn't led an army herself before.
Irabeth has a lot to share on that topic. And it's basically opening the floodgates.
Oh, good.
Luthwood is not going to have a chance to get away basically until camp is made.
she tries to like trot away on her horse and she just follows.
Yes.
You sit down for a meal, she's right next to you, still talking.
That's what she asked for.
It is what she asked for. Anyone else?
I nap hardcore.
Napping hardcore. Camp is set on the first day of travel after Valus's gift. It's been entirely uneventful, and, well, that's mostly a good thing. Don't need running into demons on the way there. There's the occasional tree, sure.
I stay away from them.
Okay.
She doesn't trust trees, notice.
The drop bear is in season, you know.
No, it's more that she doesn't want to get stuck again.
Oh
my God.
Helena.
It's okay. You have a firefighter. Except he's more of an oracle, but that's a different thing.
Oh, God. Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Oh.
All right, let's go.
Rocks fall, Lorton tripped.
You set off once more. You've only got about half a day's travel before you're going to reach Villareth Ford. You've crossed a slightly large hill, and now you're going downhill, makes everything easier.
We'll definitely need the rangers to go afield.
Oh yes, they are already doing so. They know their job. Anyone going to have anything to do in the early morning? I know Lorton is using his mythic power to be crafting while on the move.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, where on this map is the Dresden?
Dresden itself. One moment. If everyone will take a look at the full map.
I think
Dresden
it's near
itself
that.
is up here.
Yeah.
Roger.
Alright.
Yon dried up riverbed.
Yes.
Can I say that I've been trying to teach my pet a trick the whole time I've been doing this?
Sure.
I assume I have to roll for that at some point? I don't know.
If it's anything like a craft check, it's a single handle animal at the end of a training session type thing.
It has its own rules, I'm sure you can find it. I don't remember it being particularly complex, but I don't remember using it all that often either.
Yes, a successful handle animal check against the indicated DC. So just make a handle animal check. What are you trying to teach it?
Get back to me in just a second. I've just got to double check what I've taught it already.
Okay, anyone else?
I'll just keep Mr. Sad Paladin Man company.
You are keeping him company along with Social. They are still very close.
Still a
Yes,
sociopath.
I will ask if they have history with one another.
After a moment's pause. Yes, they do. And, Social has become quite the shoulder to lean on for Aaron. And in return, their relationship is a bit closer than just friends.
I see.
But they do seem to be a bit private on how they actually met.
That's alright. We've only just met ourselves, so I'm not gonna pry.
I still want to teach a cocoon. That's totally doable, right?
No. Have you figured out what trick you're teaching it?
No, working on it. I got all the major ones done. It already knows attack, come, defend, down, guard, heal, flank, and overrun maneuver.
Fetch is a very good one.
Yeah, fetch is good. Breakout is pretty good.
There are still good ones to pick. So while they're doing that, I do want to speak to Nurath,
Nura.
whatever.
Bendy Bar.
Nura. Anyway, I want to speak to Nura and finally compare notes if I can find her today.
Yeah, you can find her. She's just going along with everyone else.
And I greet her and ask if she wishes to compare notes on the natures of demons and other such subjects.
She has no problems with doing so, though her notes on demons in specific are a bit... well, they're not her focus.
That's fine, and I just want to compare what she knows with what I know and go from there.
I could teach you how to take root.
No, it doesn't have roots.
You have time.
What about withholding venom?
You
Take
don't have
root, girl.
venom.
She digs a hole and just lays in it.
Poses scenery.
No.
Mark territory?
I mean, yes.
It's Wolfhound. They know that one from birth.
If you want my suggestions,
Sure.
I'd say either breakout, fetch, or menace.
Thing is, I guess, need flank.
Oh, they don't know
Ooh.
flank?
No, wait, no, they don't flank. No.
Or guard. If you haven't checked menace, go check menace.
You might also want plus.
What?
Plus and menace.
Spells.
Anyways, this probably need not hold back the march.
Probably not.
It kinda does in this circumstance, unfortunately.
Oh,
It does.
the ford is not going to be clear of a threat.
Well, as long as they're not swagging, I'll be fine.
Luthwen has successfully taught Naynor how to break out of restraints.
And break others out of restraints.
Hooray. Chill on the road,
break out
doggy.
of society's expectations.
Also, how to become scenery.
No. You
Become a
approach
tree.
Villareth Ford.
Jolly good.
It's a tarp.
It's the
Everyone knows.
northernmost crossing point on the West Selen. Farther north from here, there are few settlements and no fords or bridges on the Mendev side of the river. This is the last opportunity to cross the river.
Yeah.
But as you're about 15 minutes away from being able to see the ford, Anivia comes rushing back to intercept the army. And she brings grave news. Villareth Ford has been taken by the enemy.
Well,
Wish I could
Like-
say I was surprised.
There's a bunch of demons squatting in the water. Like, define that.
Yes, which side of the river?
Have they reinforced their position? Is they just squatting there? Are they in the air, on the ground? How big are the demons? Give us some information.
She is going to do so.
Jesus, just calm down, dude.
Now,
One moment. So, there is an army of tieflings, not demons themselves, but their underlings.
Oh, fodder.
okay.
As
so
best they could tell, this is what happened. It was only yesterday that the defenders of Villareth Ford were defeated by an army of tiefling cultists. They were led by a goat-faced Brimrock demon named Umestil, and they took the ford by surprise. The Crusaders here were just fighters, no paladins, no holy warriors of any kind, just armored men and women. The bulk of them are now dead, and their heads and entrails now decorate the bunker-like structures that line the river's east bank. The cultists themselves are relaxing. They're enjoying a few days of relaxing because they've won the battle. They took the fort. They're happy with themselves. They're currently quite disorganized.
Which side of the river are they on?
Yours. And
Oh,
they
they're
are
screwed.
currently using a large open area as an encampment.
Wow.
We need
They
to hit
are
them hard and fast.
fucking morons.
Yeah.
Open area as in meadow or as in
As in field.
break in the buildings around?
As in an open field before the fort itself.
Yeah.
Blasted wasteland.
I mean, I know they've won a fight that they, picked and they're not expecting to be attacked, but holy flying hell, like, mount up and enjoy a glorious charge, because this is going to be messy.
Anivia, being the skilled scout that she is, points out that with the rocks and boulders that are around before the field, you can attempt to ambush the tieflings. They will provide concealment to the army.
That sounds
Do it.
fun.
That could work if we're just aiming to kill them as much as possible.
What else is our goal?
Oh no, the other tactic would be just charge them on horseback en masse and make them shit their pants and retreat and just...
You can do that once you're close.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, now that you aren't worrying about the tactics of marching, you can use the horses as they're intended, of course, as actual cavalry.
Lockdown brings up a good question, though.
No, there are no surviving defenders. She just saw what was there.
Hmm.
Umestil is an obvious name to hear because the tieflings, they're tieflings, they're not very quiet. It's also very obvious that they're their commander because it is the only not tiefling in the army. And being a goat-headed demon, they stand out.
We've
Right.
fought some Brimracks before, right?
Yes, you have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're not pushovers, but they're not comparative.
So yes, we should try to sneak up, ambush them, activate expert flankers, and then attack them.
and mass
If
armor.
we can eliminate the enemy commander, that would make it even easier.
I think the only one of us that has sniper capabilities is, Elf. And I don't know
Not
if we have
just
any-
sniping, just getting in close and take. There are provisions for zooming in mass combat to individual units.
I guess we could, form up and try and gun for him as fast as possible while our troops handle theirs.
About how many do they number?
Good question.
About 200. They're equal in size to your army. You're both generally small.
Yeah, their army's screwed, so we should take out their leader, though.
You're going to usher your army forth under concealment then to ambush them?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As long as the rocks aren't secret golems or something.
Okay. Yes?
The only question I have after that, and I don't know if this interacts mechanically in any way, is it whether or not we should be directly among the charge of this cavalry group, or if we should be directly behind and be trying to accomplish what we want to in the mayhem behind the first charge wave.
For this first fight, since we are the heroes, we should lead from the front.
And it's not going to make much of a difference in a practical sense at the moment.
It's
Fair
a
dues.
thematic one.
Massed combat has its own rules.
It also helps that if we're in the front, we can just beeline for their general and possibly pop his head out before the troops can even marshal themselves.
But yeah, we need to let our colleagues see us.
Okay.
Mechanically, what do we get for hitting an ambush?
Let's get into that. You're going to attempt to ambush. You can usher your army in through the rocks and boulders to surround these tieflings and leap on them. Because of that, you need to attempt an offense check against them. If you're successful, the battle begins, but the army you're fighting doesn't get to act during the tactics phase. They don't have time to prepare their tactics for the battle.
So is that using the OM score, or?
An offense check is d20 plus your OM. Your offense
Okay, so if I set them to aggression...
No, we're not doing that yet.
We aren't? No strategy checks, or?
This happens before that. The ambush happens before any of the actual battle starts. I just need you to roll a d20 plus your OM. Tayo, what is the army's OM?
Okay, but it says the commander's supposed to select one tactic for that battle.
Yes, and you do that after you ambush.
Okay, that kind of seems like it defeats the point of the cavalry expert, but okay.
The whole point
What
of
does-
ambush is it stops the other army from being able to act in the tactics phase.
You're exchanging an advantage that you'd have against them, but you get swatted in return versus...
No,
them
you
not.
still get to pick a tactic. We're rolling just to see if you actually successfully ambush right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We're determining whether we get a surprise, a tactical surprise round.
Yes.
So we have an
And the
OM of 10?
OM is 10.
And you can surge on this.
I think I'm probably going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Though we can surge after results, so...
Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Yes, you will successfully ambush this large army of chaotic evil tieflings. So, you will be able to get the drop on them. What will your tactic be?
We're going to run with... I mean, I assume they're not mounted, right?
They probably are not.
They are not, no. They have no horses.
So we have cavalry experts by default, don't we?
Yes.
Do they
The paladins?
do they specifically have charge breaking weapons?
They were rogues, weren't they?
We have the mounted
Plantable
resource,
spears.
so...
They are wielding... No, they're mostly just wielding short swords and the like.
So yeah, might as well use cavalry experts because we have mounted units and they don't.
Sure. So you'll have cavalry experts, and your army will launch upon theirs at your command.
Charge.
Charge!
And I can charge on foot.
Which is probably weird.
At least he's not charging on waifu.
Charge!
I'm gonna,
So, you charge forward. The tieflings all scurry up onto their feet where they were relaxing and carousing, and are gathering their weapons to attack you as cavalry come charging in. But first, the ranged phase. So, this phase will last for 1 round as you're charging in to get into attack range for your cavalry. Have you any range capability?
Yes,
I
we
believe
do.
we do.
The paladins have longbows.
Yes. Yes, you do. So because of that, I need you to simply use the offense check again. D20 plus 10. Sorry,
12,
plus
'cause we're
12,
mounted.
because you're mounted.
Yeah.
Because of that...
Defending army takes damage equal to the offense check minus the defender's DV, so that's gonna hurt a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yay.
Yay.
But they will also be firing back on you. Because they do have short bows to be firing at you at the same time.
Our DV is 20.
They fail to wound you. You'll know the results in a moment because you're going to reach melee combat almost immediately thanks to cavalry charging.
Mm-hmm.
Tile, I believe. Do go ahead and add cavalry experts to those tactics. That was something we had from having the paladins themselves.
From having
Mhm.
mounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I only remembered it here at the end.
Added.
So you're going to get into melee. What strategy track are you going to choose?
Well, since we seem to be better off than they are on the terms of offense, I think I might actually take the aggressive route here.
Sure.
Minus 2 DV, plus 2 OM, plus 3 damage dealt.
Go ahead and roll then.
So you just roll OM again.
Yes. And I believe you have, yeah, plus 2 to it.
Ooh,
Might want to surge on that one.
I'm gonna surge the shit out of that.
What's your surge value currently?
D6.
Roll d6 and add it.
That might not be enough.
Means
2
not
0
bad.
should be enough for now.
Your army of paladins rushes in with longbows, spears, and swords, and skewers the army. Tieflings are being run down en masse, hoisted into the air, filled with arrows. Frankly, this isn't even a fight for your army.
Good.
Ish good.
We alpha strike the crap out of them.
Yes.
Pretty much. Hello, this is a Lance tab.
One moment. So you have defeated the army. You actually defeated the army just in the ranged phase.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh,
Damn.
So we're just running them down for the lulz.
It must not have had very much HP.
Well, no, it was probably just a very average, like,
This-
or
Let's just be
1 or
blunt.
2.
This is probably the tutorial.
Yes, yes it is. This is just so
Yeah, like-
you are aware of what you're going to be rolling and such in the future.
Yeah,
Is
it's
the
like a
commander
CR1
there? I
army,
wanna
We're running
pounce
like a
on
CR5 or more.
Do I get commander experience?
I mean,
I think you roll for it. But is the commander still there? Because I want to pounce on him.
The commander is fighting off some of your cavalry and is one of the few not to have simply been run down.
So can we zoom in and fight him?
Sort of. Roll me a d20. You're going to arrive, and you're going to get a single strike in, and before that enemy commander notices you, and then they're run through the chest by one of your cavalrymen with a spear.
So they actually die?
Yes, they are dead.
Good.
So
Because
dead.
Brimrack's being demons can teleport, and since we killed him, he's not going to be reporting to anyone.
Yes, that is actually exactly what was going to happen if you hadn't killed him. He was going to greater teleport away.
Instead, you cracked his
I
face.
have a dumb question for Tile. Did we in the stat block include what the resource bonuses were?
What the resource bonuses were?
Yeah, we had
No.
improved armor, improved weapons.
Yes,
that is on there.
I have those as resources. And
you
in
have
fact,
them,
that's in.
the DV changes.
I do not have written down what changes they make to the stat block because that's just as they were given to me by
I
Ian.
think
Okay,
because
so
they came with it, it's already cooked in.
It is.
oh, okay.
Mhm. Oh, and to answer the question you put in there, kingdom leaders get automatic boons, but all the boons they're listing are the same boons you would get through.
I know. I
experience.
just want to be called. I want a title.
You are commander of the what are we? The Knights of Kenabros. There, and there's your title. Have a nice day.
Fuck you.
What do you want from me? You don't own land. You're not a knight.
Weren't we just knighted?
Let's see. Each time
Actually,
an army wins a battle,
Yeah,
you
actually-
attempt...
Weren't we just knighted like the session
Yes,
before
we
this?
were.
Yes, you are knights.
So, no, Skull Hat, we are knights.
Well, you don't have any land, so screw you.
The knights
We
do.
have the we
We
have
have
the
knights
right
of
to
St.
rule lands. That's part of the title.
Uh-huh.
I guess
They-
if we ever get to that, we can start worrying about
Well,
kingdom leaders.
basically, guess what? We're eventually going to clear land, and then we can claim it.
But here's the thing: if you win a battle, then attempt a loyalty check against your kingdom's control DC. If you
Yes.
succeed, you learn a new tactic and increase your morale by 1. Also, if your army's current hit points are lower than the army's ACR, you can increase points to its ACR.
So what
You
is
can
that
then
loyalty
attempt-
check?
You can then attempt a second loyalty check, and if you succeed, the army's commander learns a new boon.
Unfortunately, the loyalty check is based on having a kingdom, which we don't.
Which is
I know how it
stupid.
works. I am about to get into that actually.
Yeah, that's probably something special for this campaign.
You know. All right.
Control DC is normally 20 plus a kingdom size in hexes, plus the total number of districts in all settlements, plus any other modifiers in special circumstances or effects,
It's usually pretty high.
because it's base 20.
Yes, give me one moment.
I mean, mortgage literally means death pledge. I believe it's French.
You're French. Face is French.
Okay. Luthwen, please
Please
give
help
me a
me
will
out.
save.
What? No.
Yes.
What's your will like?
Well, okay. Is it just a flat-out will save?
Yes.
Any type bonuses to
Nope.
this?
Nope.
Surge,
I guess I could technically
You
take
can
a
surge
surge.
it.
if you need it.
Oh my god.
Well,
Surging is not going to help that.
Yeah, it's just kind
your
of
army is not going to feel super victorious from this, I'm afraid.
Are you kidding?
I mean, admittedly, we did just kind of shoot arrows. They all fell over, then we ran them down. It wasn't really a fight.
Well, no, we fucking raped them. Like,
Please do another one.
do it.
Okay. So, the first loyalty check is to see if your army learns a new tactic from its experience in battle, and it increases their morale. But, you failed. The second one, you learned a new boon.
Pick one or one specific.
No, I get to pick one.
Yeah, you get to pick one.
Well, since you can only ever know 2 for now, you pick the good ones.
Yes, go ahead and decide on that. In the meantime, what are you going to do to recover from the fight?
Well, I know the paladins probably aren't going to be happy about it, but we need to salvage what we can from the tieflings and from what else might be left over.
We
Yes.
also need to clean up, simply for morale, we need to clean up the corpses of the fallen.
You are very correct in that the paladins are not happy about being issued orders to loot the tieflings. Is anyone going to try and diplomacy to stop some of the grumbling?
I have a simple solution. They don't have to. They can
We
happily
are,
go rest
we
over
are
there.
we are not playing that card again, Tazrak.
Why not?
We're not doing that.
Because if
The Tazrat.
Quiet.
If I just
quietly, because if any of them happen to find a bunch of bloody skeletons wandering around the edges of the camp, they're going to kill them first and ask questions such as, where did those come from in the morning?
That's why we just let them rest, wait till night, and then I'll have
No.
all their.
No.
No.
Someone with diplomacy roll for this, please.
We need to be upfront.
I'll be on that as soon as I can reach the button.
Jesus Christ.
Honora has the
Some
highest
problems.
charisma. I'm gonna roll to assist her.
Yeah.
I succeed on the assist. That's +2.
I'll assist.
Since I don't have my my thing available.
Your
right
tokens
now,
and loot and inventory.
Stop being
Yep, he's
logical.
good.
So, Honora is going to help calm the paladins' grumbling. Which she will.
Boy, howdy
They'll
do I.
quiet down. What is everyone else going to be doing? No, you haven't lost anyone, but you do have some injuries.
We might.
I will help out with the healing, since that's something I can do.
I'm going to give slight orders.
Hmm?
Tazrak, help them put the fallen to rest, please.
Certainly. Do check the commander's body. He may have orders.
Good idea. She'll go herself to check that.
What exactly is the fort itself? Is this just a somewhat narrowed section where the river is easily crossable, or is there any structures of any kind?
The structures are on either side of the river. There's bunker-like structures where you can have archers inside, but the fort itself is natural.
Okay, so just a few buildings around the fort, nothing else really built up.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me just one moment to check something here.
So the majority of them may have been out and about here, but Lortan would like to take, at the very least, Irabeth and a dozen or so men, and go check the rest of the surrounds and the far shore
Absolutely.
before things die down and whatnot.
I'm just having to roll something here.
I would also want to check in on what our NPCs are doing, like
Yes.
just that Paladin Man and Bendy Bar.
Irabeth is going with Lortan. Sociel and Nura are setting out separately to seek survivors to heal and rescue from the aftermath because they may have been holding prisoners.
Yes. Hopefully they were, because that means we can rescue them.
Anivia is heading out to scout the surroundings to ensure there are no other enemies lying in wait. And Aaron is going with her because with the recent fighting, it's best to not be alone right now.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Oh yeah. What did the elf eyes see? Because she can see magic.
Luthwen.
Mm-hmm.
You notice Nura going off, as she said, to look for people, and then you see an aura of magic as she casts invisibility on herself.
Oh, I'm following that bitch.
Roll me stealth, then. You are currently going to fail. Are you going to search?
Yep.
I think that's your last search for the day.
Considering
No,
how
you
believe
have
it's-
5.
Okay.
also we go through days so quickly right now.
Yeah.
It's true.
I forget the
Oh,
calculation.
sweet. Fucking.
That's enough to succeed, though.
Okay, good.
That's all that matters.
You
I just
follow the invisible Nura. She is going to Aaron's gear on his horse. Are you going to do anything yet?
I have to see. I have to. If she's gonna do something, I have to catch her. So I can't do anything yet.
Being invisible, you only see the aura of magic around her as the pack opens.
Okay, no.
Hmm?
What can I do to stop this?
Shoot her.
That's not a good idea. Thank
Shoot
you.
her. You can open packs now.
Clever girl.
I mean, if you want to get her attention and question her motives at the same motion, you can just put an arrow between her feet.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something to be said about sneaking up behind her,
I have a really,
Suddenly
really
putting
silly
a-
idea.
hand on her shoulder.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna sneak up on her and dump a flask of oil on her to fuck up her invisibility.
Okay, sure. You dump a flask of oil onto the invisible halfling, and she sputters and spins, and the oil reveals at least the shape of some sort of flask she was carrying in her hand. Not something she took from Aaron's pack, something she was going to put into it.
I'll have a dagger out. Explain yourself now.
You, I was just returning his flask, obviously.
Doubtful.
Truly, I borrowed it. I didn't want him to know I borrowed it. He doesn't like sharing this sort of thing. I just did. I wasn't going to use the spell anyway today.
Sense
Roll-
motive, that bitch.
Roll me a sense motive.
Oh God. See, I
You
didn't
can
even
still
want to roll a
search.
sense motive. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's still shite.
Still shite, yeah. Give me
Even
one.
if your sense motive fails, you have reason to suspect her, so you can just keep an eye on her.
Well, yeah, because she's invisible.
She seems to be telling the truth, but roll me spellcraft.
I had to stand up for a second. Did I miss anything besides you dumping oil on the halfling?
She's trying
Not
to
yet.
explain herself.
Oh, okay.
You recognize the aura that is on that flask. It's the spell Magic Aura.
Something to hide.
The spell Magic Aura allows you to alter an item's aura so it registers as though either non-magical or a magic item of a kind the caster specifies.
Why would you need this?
Please roll me a will save.
I have to ask, what is this against? Because I got a billion bonuses.
An illusion.
Hmm.
Just pure illusion.
Yep.
That's a nat one.
Yeah, it is. You're getting a lot of those today, apparently.
Just
Get them
roll
out
the
now.
ones out
Yep.
now. Yep.
Unless it's a mental check versus a demon, then I get to re-roll it.
Reroll it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's pinging as really strong evil.
Hmm.
Sorry, what is?
The flask
The
that she's
flask.
holding.
So it's pinging as...
There is a magic aura around it naturally, and that aura is evil.
Right.
From a meta standpoint, the fact that you could re-roll it means that it's demonic in origin.
Yeah, that...
You don't know that in character, sadly.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I don't. I will press my dagger up to her throat and call out, guards, to me, please.
Am I nearby?
You are near enough to hear that. The only person who would not be, unfortunately, is Lortan.
Because I want to get up close and pin her down.
just comes out of the fucking left field, just full body tackle.
Do
I
keep in
would
mind,
go over there
you're-
more calmly.
You're covered in oil. Don't move if you don't want to burn.
Give me one moment here.
God, yeah, I also add half my favorite enemy bonus on all throws against anything against evil outsiders, saving throw wise.
Just a moment here. Yes, it was Aaron's pack.
That perception +3 to pierce disguise also if it's she's actually just a demon.
Just a moment. Just have to set something up, that's all. Because your troops have started to set up camp in the remnants of what the tieflings were using as camp. But the woman herself will glare at you. She doesn't seem to be a demon, though. And she will... attempt to flee, evidently, by trying to pull a scroll from her pocket.
Am I within charge range?
You're on the map.
Oh, there is. Okay, I didn't realize there was a map.
There's a tent in the way, otherwise, yes.
Yeah.
Damn it. She's just too far.
She did sneak away, is the
It
point.
depends on what you're allowing me to do here, because no matter what, I'm going to hit her. But I'd also try to command Nanor to attack.
Well, you have an AOO for her trying to pull out a scroll.
Let's see. Got to do this manually. Because I'm wielding a cold iron dagger, not a great sword.
Oh.
Felt it a little weird to carry a great sword into this.
Not bad.
That will hit.
Daggers are what, D4
Yes.
for a medium dagger?
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, is there any chance you know how strong that scroll is?
The scroll?
How much magic?
Spell-wise.
Yes.
Not without at least 3 rounds of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, with that, roll initiative. Basically everyone but Lortan, because Lortan, unfortunately, is investigating the buildings. He'll have things to have found once this is done, but
And Nanor should actually be at a different initiative.
yes.
Well, now roll in. And then flower.
What is Nanor's initiative then?
I rolled well, yay.
Both Sociel and Arvashtiel are nearby as well, so they will hear Luthuan's cry for guards.
I'm also going to assume this is not an urban environment.
It is not.
These tents are not enough to make it urban.
I know. Just, yeah.
And where is Bendy Bar?
Directly in front of Luthwan.
In terms of the initiative. So I still got a 2.
He rolled a 3, but he's in heavy armor. He's at -1 initiative.
Good.
He's not the fastest guy.
Mentally, too.
Hey!
What was he again? Is he a cleric?
He's a cleric of Shelyn, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not right.
Yeah, clerics aren't really known for their high initiative.
Generally not.
Yo.
There we go.
Excellent.
Ermengarde.
So, I just want to check. If I move here, go back to the pointer tool. Here, do I have a straight line of movement to where she is?
Yes.
Basically, okay, good.
I am
So,
going to
move-
point out of character, she is currently covered in oil. It's going to be hard to grab her.
Yeah, it's
That's
basically
fine.
like she's greased.
That's fine, I'm gonna try it anyway. So,
Between that and
move,
not be able to see her, so...
move action here. Swift action to activate, what is it called again? It's the thing that lets me move and attack. Fleet charge, yeah. So that's a swift action and costs 1 thing of mythic power. I can move up to my speed and hit the person. I'm just gonna double check the rules on it.
Sure.
Go scroll. Mythic. Heroes. Again. And fleet charge. At any point, you can make a single melee or range attack, adding your tier to the attack roll, and it bypasses all damage reduction. But anyway, so moving to here, making a an attack.
Punch.
Actually, add 1 more to that.
That will not hit currently.
I mean, fuck it. I'll search.
That will hit.
Good. So she takes that 13 damage.
But you cannot grapple as part of your attack, I assume.
I don't have grab, so no.
Yes, okay.
But I still have my standard, so now I can
Oh.
try to grapple.
Right, you do. I'm sorry.
Yes. Move, then swift, then standard.
Go ahead.
Oh, Mythic, things get weird.
Mhm.
Do I grapple her?
Well, she is greased at the moment.
Grease is not that big a bonus, though.
Yes, it is. It's a plus 10.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. You will still successfully grapple her, thankfully.
Damn straight.
Only barely, though.
That's fine.
You have grappled her. Congratulations. She struggles against your grip, trying to read from her scroll. Flower has heard something happening.
Has she done anything that's offensive yet? So invisibility should still be running underneath that.
It is.
Flower will march towards the commotion.
Hup, 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 hup.
Flower has arrived.
Tazrak.
Tazrak will also march towards the commotion. Why are you grabbing her? Did something happen?
For the record, that would have been non-lethal damage.
Yes. Is anyone going to use talking as a free action?
I am. I'm
She's
asking
trying
what
to
the
put
hell's going on.
something into his pack, won't tell me why, it's evil. No more talking, stop her.
She is stopped. Yermagard has her hands on her. It's... Congratulations, she is stopped.
She's trying to escape with magic, you buffoon.
Naynor.
Rude.
Luflin will give a trilling whistle, which is basically telling Leonor to flank.
Fetch the scroll.
Bark, 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 bark.
If she do fetch, that would actually be a thing.
Yes.
Is Naynor going to attack?
Yes.
Okay. That will not hit.
Bad Naynor.
Honora, there's a commotion going on.
And given the distance, I assume Honora heard what Luthwin said.
Yes.
Can't get there.
Double move?
True.
You're probably just gonna have to. Yeah, there's a oiled up, invisible halfling being held down by Ermengarde. It's all normal.
It's very confusing.
Alright, time for a bunch of free actions.
What?
I.e. talking.
Okay.
You fucking tease.
Aravashniel will come running around, content with his new ability to run without running into things. Luthwen.
So, it's a sleight of hand to try to get that away from her, isn't it?
It
I
is.
didn't do my talking.
Oh, I thought you were
Well-
being silly.
I was, but I was also being serious.
God damn it.
Pick one.
Speak already, goodness.
Silly.
Speak.
So, now I've got to rejigger my work.
Oh my god. Helena? I'm just gonna take my turn if you don't have something to say. Like me.
Alright. So, basically I heard what was said. Would you like to explain yourself, or will I have to see what happens when I shoot an oiled up halfling with my scorching ray?
I already asked what in the universe is going on, and I was rudely looking at fucking Luthwin. Dismissed.
And I intimidate. Or do I need another action for that?
You would need an actual action to intimidate.
Okay,
Yeah.
ignore that.
Luflin tries to steal that out of her hand.
One moment.
She is at -4 dex.
Also, her hands might be covered in oil.
Hold on.
Yes, you can take the scroll.
Cool.
The scroll is labeled
As what?
Dimension Door.
Oh, fuck
Good.
her.
But that's going to be your action, of course.
I will go ahead and take a step back for Flower to do what she wants.
Nura is going to try and weasel out of this grapple.
Like physically or socially?
I think she's a little past the social weaseling.
My ride's here, so I actually have to get going. They're here a little early then. Sorry.
Okay, that's a thing.
Would you like us to finish up, or...?
You guys can finish up. I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. You just explain to me what happened. You know how my character would protest, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we're not probably going to be trying to kill her anyway, so
Yeah, exactly. So
we want to get answers.
precisely. That would be the only thing he'd want. So,
Okay.
take care then.
Alright,
Talk
bye.
to you later.
Doodles.
Okay, it is technically doable for her to get out of this. What is, actually, I know the answer to this. Ermengarde's CMD
It's only 26.
is 26. Okay. It is doable.
I've unfortunately made her very resistant against you.
Except she rolled 2.
Good.
So no, she does not, get out of that grapple. Socio will come running around, wondering what on earth is going on. And Ermengarde, I assume you're gonna just try and pin her.
Yes. Derp. Well, I
Well-
still have another action. Because I have greater grapple, so I can maintain his move as well.
Try again.
I think that breaks.
Technically, the first check you need to make in the round is the maintain. And
Which I
then
guess
you can
means-
decide what you take as your actions.
So I guess the grapple breaks, and you have to re-grapple her if you want to,
Hold on a second. Reading it.
Oh, grappling rules. We'll never be free of you.
Maybe Pathfinder 2? Well, second edition.
No, I just mean that we went from Hlostrin, which had Varg, to now Ermengarde.
Uh-huh. Hey, don't forget the one we played in the meantime where I played a monk grappler as well.
Yeah, tripping people.
Uh-huh. Tripping was fun. Not nearly as complex either.
So, it doesn't say that the grapple breaks if you fail.
Give me just a moment.
You're thinking of if you fail the pin check?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm talking about is the first thing you should have done in your turn is roll the maintain the grapple check. And then, after that, you get to do your actions, including trying to pin someone.
Yes.
You can perform one of the following actions as part of the standard action spent to maintain the grapple.
Okay.
Yes. So it's the same action. So if they don't get released when I fail, so I can just try again.
Right. The main difference, the main reason it's important, though, is that lots of grapplers get to maintain as a free action at later points.
Yep. I will get to that.
Well, in
But
any
I will
case.
just roll again.
Yep,
And
go again. Try again.
that should be fine.
Yes, you have pinned her, and in this circumstance, she has no way of escaping any longer.
Mm-hmm.
But she remains stubbornly silent for the moment.
Well, I can tie her up, and we can figure out what to do with her afterward. And just in case, we'll remove all of her belongings, like her pack and anything she might have in her pockets.
Socio will step forward to take the dropped vial.
She was trying to slip this into Aaron's pack.
He grimaces and doesn't seem surprised by the vial. He seems familiar with it.
What
What
is
is it?
He stands there uncertain of what to say for a moment, but he does look to Ermengarde as the person he's talked with the most at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ermengarde, give me...
Yes.
If you had diplomacy, give me that. If you don't, give me charisma. Alright. He sighs. Aaron and I met helping him recover from his addiction to this drug, Shadow Blood.
What kind of drug is it?
One made from the blood of a shadow demon.
So, yeah, if
So she was
Nora
attempting.
had access, if Nora had access to that drug, that means she's in league with the demons.
And attempting to have Aaron relapse. Or
Have
be
you any-
caught with it.
Regardless, it's not surprising.
Have you anything to
Cultists
say in
among
your
us.
defense? Have you anything to say in your defense, Nora?
She just snorts at you.
Yeah. She's tied up at this point, right?
Yeah, you can tie her up. There's rope around everywhere.
I assume her
want the-
invisibility has lapsed then?
Her invisibility will wear off shortly, yeah. Doesn't last
Yeah,
very
I
long.
want to check her pack to see what else she might have had. She might have orders on her.
On her are another 3 vials of Shadow Blood. A wand that will need to be identified. And a scroll of Cure Moderate Wounds, and a scroll of Sending.
Sending is how she would report to her, her handler.
She, of course, also has what she's wearing, but I assume you're not stripping her at the moment.
No, not stripping her. Stripping her of weapons, yes, but not clothing.
Could I get a, which is it to identify an item? Is that spellcraft still?
Spellcraft.
Yep.
It is. Yeah, spellcraft.
Can I get a spellcraft from Honora as well?
The easiest way to remember is that spellcraft is used to make magic items, so it makes sense that it's used to identify them also.
Yeah, between the two of you, you know that this is a wand with 4 charges of Modify Memory.
More and more incriminating evidence.
Of course, what's slightly concerning is that from what Queen Galfrey told you, Nora was one of her advisors for a time.
We might want to use that scroll of sending to contact the queen.
It seems wise.
Not familiar how sending works. Minutes, and send a short message of 25 words or less to the subject. If the subject recognizes you if it knows you, and it can answer in like manner immediately. So yes, one of us can use the scroll, send a quick report, and receive an acknowledgement, because she knows all of us.
Well, within an error margin of 10 minutes casting time and, what's the name? It being on someone's spell list.
It's on the clerical list, it's on the sorcerer list. Yeah.
Socio will volunteer to take Nora aside to be, well, kept prisoner and try to get some answers out of her.
How many words?
25.
Percentage? 25?
Will anyone object to his taking her aside?
I will keep your company.
He has
He
no
has no
problems
problems.
with this.
Yes. Stay with them, please.
We should also keep this as much under wraps as possible. Although other people probably have already seen it.
Some, not all.
We need to have all the answers before we address the group. Because as it is now, it's just going to spread panic.
Ermengarde, do you have any score in Intimidate?
I think I have a trade bonus to it, but
No ranks.
yeah, it's just charisma +1. So 3.
You're getting nothing out of her.
I am not, no.
Are you going to ask anyone else to assist you?
Probably Honora, because she seems chatty.
So you call me over?
Are you going to try and be diplomatic with her or forceful?
That is up to you.
Honestly, it's been a day. It's been quite a day. So Honora isn't really feeling that diplomatic right now.
Sure, then roll me Intimidate.
Yes.
Okay. After some poking, prodding, Nora will share, because it doesn't do you very much good, that she is a cultist of Baphomet and a servant of demons. And her task was specifically to take them down and undo their new status.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, she's a servant directly of the shadow demon that gave
Sorry.
her access to that blood.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Lufwin has Arvashnil send that message. Since he can use the scroll.
He can indeed. And he will send it off with the 10-minute casting time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Skull Hat missing, we're going to call it there. Don't want to have too many things to bring you up to date on.
Mm-hmm.
Discovered a ruined village, won your first real battle against an army of tieflings that you snuck up on and obliterated. And discovered a demonic sympathizer in your midst, far earlier than some might have expected you to. Given that in order to properly notice her sneaking off, you had to succeed on perception and sense motive checks,
Mm-hmm.
where the perception DC was 30.
Yay. Or
Magic
just
helps.
be see invisible and all the time and just be a cheating fuck?
No, because she cast invisibility after sneaking away. You just happened to notice her sneaking away and thus saw her
Ah,
cast
so you
it.
took the hidden test for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Elf eyes, yay!
Yay.
Cut that shit off before it leads to drama later in the perilous
Right.
mission.
Yes, I'm sure. Wouldn't that be nice if you suddenly found Aaron taking shadow blood and yeah.
Well, if we're calling it there, there's some stuff I want to talk about after. Just questions for people, but it doesn't have to be on the recording.
Yes, goodbye recording.